Hello everyone and welcome to a warning episode. I like to do these episodes occasionally when something comes up very unexpectedly from a source that I really don't expect any problems from. And it is the fuel pump that I fitted to 50 Shades about a year and a half ago. So for those of you who've watched my how to replace a fuel pump on a Mark 1 Focus, it was that exact video. I'll put a link in the description to that video. Basically in that video I fitted a brand new Bosch aftermarket fuel pump, and I have every confidence in that because it's the best brand of fuel pump that you can buy in the aftermarket, considering that the originals are incredibly hard to find now. You have to go to Ford, they still sell them. They'll sell you one for about crazy price of over £600. I cannot believe that Ford are selling such items for that much. I mean, it looked like there was about 5 in the Warrington depot. I don't think anybody's going to buy them at that price, and even I would be wincing at £200. Although saying that, I've said this before, those fuel pumps have lasted about 20 plus years, and if you fit an original Ford one to your Focus now, it will last quite indefinitely, I suspect. I think only lack of use would be a problem for that, and you've just got to make sure that you keep turning the car on and using it and just making sure the engine runs, etc., as you would do in normal car storage. So £200 is probably where I would set my limit at for me financially, but a lot of people would probably never pay that, when the Bosch one is currently about £100. I bought that Bosch one I think for far less, around £75–80, but they've gone up in price like everything else, and it works. It sounds similar to the original, a little bit different, but not too dissimilar, or different I should say, and I've had no problems with it, except when I fitted that pump, it was at a time where I wasn't using the car. I kept the car off-road last year in 2025. So the only thing that fuel pump actually did was it started the car for about half an hour while I let the car run, while I did other things or cleaning or whatever. And then I'd turn it off and put the car away. So it didn't actually do much work. And there was one aspect that I had not tested up until when I went to the Lakeland Motor Museum at the national meet of the club, and that meant because I was driving to where that museum is, I have to put quite a bit of fuel in 50 Shades, the most fuel I've ever put in that car in a good couple of years. And what I noticed is that when I filled up from virtually empty all the way to full, I just put E10 in. There's no point in putting E5 in because the E10 is going to be burnt very quickly. It's if you've got fuel hanging around and the car's in the garage sitting around doing nothing, that's where E10's a problem. I think E5 has got to be done in that situation because it's sitting, and that's where you can get ethanol separating from the fuel and all sorts of issues, especially with the fuel pump potentially. And the fuel needle went all the way from empty to full. It was literally reading pretty full. And I looked at it for a few seconds and I thought, I've put 43 litres in, and we're talking about a 55 litre fuel tank here for the petrols. The diesels are not quite 55. So I thought, yeah, based on the fact that there's a few litres in there, about probably 4 or 5 litres to be honest, that makes sense. And it should have done. But what I noticed driving about 50 miles into the journey is that there was absolutely no change in the reading whatsoever. I had this problem with Beatrix years ago, and all it took was a smack of the tank because I suspect the floater got stuck. Now with that car, with an old fuel pump, what it is, if the fuel pump float has never been that high before, it might get stuck a little bit and it needed a bang to bring it down to where it should be. Because of rust, rust can develop on the little rod for the float, and it can just stick. And it cured that car, didn't cure this car. I literally pulled up at the services, banged the fuel tank a few times. I had to do a bit of that at Lakeland because it still had the same problem then. Because by the time I'd actually got to my destination, the fuel tank had not moved. at all, and I'm sitting there thinking, absolutely amazing. So I've bought a faulty fuel pump assembly. The fuel pump works fine, which sits in the whole sender unit module assembly, but the actual fuel sender itself, the float sender assembly, doesn't work. It's literally reading all over the place. And on the way back, as I'm contemplating, okay, so where do I go from here? Do I buy a Bosch one for £100, or do I actually think about, okay, can I just run with this thing in, because I don't really want to be dropping tanks every 2 seconds. It's not the best job. They should have an excess hatch, but we know why they don't, and I've done it before and I'll just have to do it again. And I was really going back after that fantastic event at Lakeland thinking, this is the only downside of the journey. What a bugger, I've got to do it again. So there's me monitoring the fuel situation, and the needle didn't barely move, and then suddenly halfway through that journey, I'm halfway back to Birmingham, and it starts working. It just drops down a little bit. It dropped from literally full, so I could tell there was an earthing problem with the sender assembly because the gauge just reads full all the time. But then it dropped, and I was thinking, this is the sender, because there was just a little bit of me thinking, I hope that we haven't got an earth issue and there's a wire that goes to the sender that's touching a piece of metal of the car. That's an absolute nightmare. It really is, guys. I hope that never happens to anybody, but thankfully it did move. It moved down, then it moved back up, then it moved down again, and it was like that the whole journey. And by the time I got back home, it was reading half a tank, which is absolutely impossible. I must have been doing about 60 miles to the gallon in a 1.6 automatic. Absolutely impossible. However, 50 Shades is capable of about 50 to the gallon, so it actually wasn't reading far off. I think it was just overreading a little bit. Back to that exact video I did on 50 Shades fuel pump, that exact fuel pump I'm talking about, I did note that when I fitted the pump and went to turn the gauges on and hear the pump start, it was overreading just a little bit more than the old one, and I had to revisit my own video to see if there's anything I could take from that video. And it was overreading then, and it's overreading now, and I'm sure that if I put another 30 litres in the tank, it would just show full until a certain point when it suddenly wakes up and it drops quite quickly and settles where it wants to settle, but it's still overreading, so it has to come out. I'm really gutted, and this is the concerning thing. This is a Bosch fuel pump we're talking about, brand new Bosch. The parts number is in that video. It's the only one, it's the only Bosch one that's available for petrol Mark 1s. Diesel Mark 1s, I can't quote on that. I think it's the same, but don't quote me. The fuel pump is here. This is the fuel pump. This is just the cap that sits on. There's a couple of screws, 1, 2, 3 screws. They come off quite nicely. This is the plug, obviously, and that's the motor. Now, the motor itself you can buy separately, and I'm going to revisit this. The reason that you do not buy just the motor, my advice can change a little bit. The reason you buy the motor is because obviously this thing here is faulty. It's just not reading correctly. Obviously it's supposed to go up the scale, and obviously when the float is stuck up high, there's basically no resistance. Gauge goes to earth, which it shows high, and then as we lower on the scale, the resistance increases, and therefore it forces the needle down towards empty, etc. Okay, this can fail, this can go wrong on the original ones after this great age of 20 plus years, so we can't rely on them. So to put, let's say, I would recommend, by the way, that pump in the very minimum, to put this Bosch pump inside an old module sender assembly. It's a false economy in the long run. It may last, it may not last. That's the problem here. So that's why I've always said buy one of these. Now, my advice will not change. I think this is just a very unfortunate mishap, and they should have tested this really for calibration purposes. I have fitted a fuel pump to 50 shades, but it is not one of these. So I got really lucky. I typed in the parts number for the original fuel pumps of these, and lo and behold, I found one. New old stock for £45. I thought it was 50 actually. £50 for an absolute gem. It came in the original Ford box, and it is now fitted to 50 shades, and it works perfectly. In fact, I can tell you now, the silence, I thought it wasn't working. I've turned the key on after putting the motor in and plugging it in, just to make sure that it's working and the sender is working, and that's all good. It does work and it reacts very nicely. I'll sure, you know, it will be tested properly when I'm actually driving and fill it with fuel. But I turned the ignition on and I was like, oh no, it's not working. No, it was so quiet I could barely hear it.
Sorted, all done. The worst part was getting the bolt for the tank straps. Horrible job. Ask Alex for that job, he'll be laughing to himself. Now listen to how quiet this is. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but I thought the pump wasn't working for a split second. It is so much quieter than the aftermarket pump in this, so much quieter than the Bosch pump that is now in my spares. That is how quiet these pumps used to be when these cars were brand new. I'm so pleased. And also, that's what I'm reading. Now, the new pump was reading, I know we're on a ramp at the moment, it was reading about half full. So 50 shades must have been doing about 50 to the gallon by my calculations, because there's plenty of fuel in that tank. And I knew as soon as I took the top off, that old sender wasn't reading that badly, but it was intermittent and just playing up when the tank was full. So I'm so pleased. It just starts fine. Fine. No issues.
And that makes me think, wow, so that's what these original fuel pumps used to sound like when they were brand new, virtually silent. So as they get older, they become way more audible, and well, you can tell when they've turned on. You know, you can hear it underneath the back seats, unless you've got the radio on quite high. These are quite loud actually. They do make themselves heard, and they sound different to the originals, like I've said. But what a bargain that I managed to find. Not everybody's going to be that lucky, but I would search for that number on eBay. That's where I found it. So the number of the originals is in the screen. I can give this on here. Usually I keep these numbers just for my members, but for everyone's sake I'll put it in the description. So there you go, guys. So yeah, I'm not sure really what I'm gonna totally do with this, to be honest. Well, actually I will take this pump out as a minimum. This pump alone is £70. £70 for just the pump, and the whole thing's 100. So you can work out why my advice would be to buy the whole pump module assembly. This is just buyer beware. Try and look for a new old stock one. Have a look out there, but if you can't and you need a pump, please do not hesitate to buy this one. It is just one of them occasions where you've got to do this. You can't avoid this problem. The fuel pumps are giving in now, and the solution is not to buy a second-hand one, put it that way. That will just get you nowhere. So I'm going to let people decide what they want to do, whether they actually just want to take a risk and fit a pump to the same module. There is one other thing by fitting the pump to a new pump to an old module, and that is the pressure. There are some O-rings right at the top where this cap actually pushes on here, and we find that there could be a pressure leak around here, and you have to pack it with washers to get a good clamping fit, because the O-rings, they shrink up in the module. So you might find after fitting a new pump that you might lose pressure between the pump and this cap, and that's a problem. Also, these pipes can develop a hole. That's another reason you shouldn't really be reusing the old module assemblies. So I hope that this video has been quite helpful to those people who may have to do this job in the future. I shall say, don't be put off, but this is like every aftermarket part now. The quality control is going out the window, even from known brands like Bosch, that you'd think this is a good brand, this is an excellent brand. It definitely is, but I'm afraid I've just stomached a really bad one in terms of this component. So don't be put off, but look at your options and do search for new old stock fuel pumps, because you might get lucky. And you know, I'm very blessed that while the best Mark 1 Focuses is now running around with an original fuel pump, I thought I would have to compromise on 50 Shades with a Bosch one like everybody else. Mr. Inc has an unknown fuel pump, but all I can say is that it does make itself heard. It was a 40 quid fuel pump and module, so it was a complete thing. But I will tell you now, this sender unit, touch wood, works absolutely fine. The pump works fine, touch wood. So my intention with this, based off what I can see, is I'm going to take the fuel pump from this and I'm going to stick it in that module when I have issues. If I get any issues from that cheap fuel pump, that's going on. Just the pump, not the module. Got to have plans. Take care, everyone.